Hi, good morning. So I'm just here out on a little power walk. I'm gonna go and buy some food stuff. So I figure since I'm kind of thinking about food either way, I figure I would kind of address you know, some kind of struggles that you maybe would face if you would go vegan initially. So first thing, you're probably going to think, okay, what are you going to eat? Like to find that balance between different macronutrients and also the very equally important like micronutrients of minerals and different vitamins, and to ensure that you're really getting all of them, in your diet as you're going vegan. That can be kind of a struggle for some people. Another thing, is also this whole transition of what the food maybe is going to look like as you're going vegan, because not everything is, just because it has protein, it doesn't mean it has to look like meat. So yeah, I'm just in this park, so I will try and show a little bit of what it looks like here. So yeah, that's like one thing, to not assume that everything is going to look exactly the same just because you are used to meat having a certain texture or color or something like this. And also to sort of adapt a more like colorful plate. This is probably going to be quite easy if you go vegan, because most of the times vegan food is quite colorful. So that's like one thing. And also the surrounding, like most people who are not vegan is probably going to have some kind of comments or questions about you going vegan, and even trying to pursue you to not do so. But I think nowadays it's quite a lot more it's a lot more people who are actually going vegan, and even like just doing it part-time, so they kind of it's much easier nowadays to actually start with some vegan kind of lifestyle. And also to kind of consider it being a lifestyle, so it's not only about the food that you're going to eat, it also is going to include all of these kind of lifestyle choices that you will be doing. So for example, if you're consuming any kind of leather, you maybe want to sort of adapt it into a more vegan kind of way and not sort of buy such things. And also, it's a whole kind of a lot of awareness that goes into being vegan. So you will find that a lot of these kind of produced food stuff that you probably might already be eating, you will find that they contain quite a lot of different things that is not really a common food stuff. It actually has some kind of man-made source. It's kind of has been produced. So to make it really simple and ensure that most of the food that you're going to be eating is going to be vegan, it's much better to consume and buy the food stuff like in their whole food kind of whole food kind of like format. So let's say all the kind of veggies, all kinds of fruits, and all kinds of like starches and stuff. That's really going to give you a good vegan base to work with. And also to consider the proteins. You have all the beans, you have all the different peas and stuff. And of course you have like, let's say, tofu and these things. Those things are also of course good protein sources, but still it's kind of important to also think about if you want to consume your proteins in a more pure source and like higher quality, or if you want to take them in some other kind of format. Because there's quite a lot of like these products that kind of look like meat nowadays, but they are not vegan. All of them. Some of them have like some added eggs and stuff, and even if they are vegan, I mean, it's just to get sort of used to this whole idea of that food doesn't have to look like meat, to be containing proteins and stuff. So that's like one side of it. And of course it's good to make some research before you're actually going vegan, to sort of have those arguments standpoints, you know, that you can bring forth when anyone is trying to pursue you about not going vegan, you know, because that's going to happen, you know. Everyone has their own kind of perspective and way of sort of viewing this whole, you know, veganism and stuff. And some people are not ready to actually go vegan themselves, and they will have something against it, you know. So yeah, and also to have different kind of arguments, you know. Think about you know, the health benefits for yourself and for like the whole kind of long-term effects, you know, and also about the environment, and like also the simplicity of actually being vegan, because it doesn't require that much of your time to actually make and prepare these kind of vegan dishes and stuff, you know. It can be quite simple, you know. And also nowadays, if you're going to be eating out, going to restaurants or whatever, there's so many different kind of vegan options nowadays, you know. And I would say, like, don't start like by throwing out your whole like fridge content and then just go and buy a lot of vegan stuff. Take it a little bit easy, you know. So try change out like one meal. Probably the breakfast is the most simple way of actually sort of transit into, you know, consume vegan stuff. So maybe, you know, make sure that you have your breakfast is fully vegan on a daily basis, and then you can sort of after that adapt into maybe your lunch being vegan, and then, you know, take it into transform your dinner also into a vegan option, you know. So those things are like good step by step, you know, to actually make it into like long-term change, you know. Because if you're doing things that going to be like all of a sudden you have been having sort of completely different you know, other food stuff in the past, that's going to make it quite hard, you know, for yourself, you know. And don't be too hard on yourself when you're actually doing this transition, because as I said, it's going to require quite a lot of different things, you know. So just to take it a step by step and ensure that you're kind of adapting into it kind of slowly, you know. And further on, I would say, like, you know, to not stress about it too much, you know. So you maybe can, you know, find some kind of vegan food stuff that you're really liking, you know. Maybe, for example, you enjoy to eat some nice fruits and stuff. Well, try and get those into your daily sort of meal plan, you know. And then as you go about and sort of, you know, making this transition, you can sort of adapt other kinds of vegan food stuff as well, you know. And also I would say, like, a lot of people, if you have been vegetarian in the past, that's going to make it quite easy for you to actually go fully vegan. And also if you kind of, let's say, you know, already eating maybe a salad every now and then, that's also, you know, part of this whole concept, because vegan food stuff contains quite a lot of more like plant-based food stuff, you know. So yeah, that's kind of the basics, you know. So take it step by step and don't rush about going fully vegan ASAP, you know, because that can be quite hard, you know. Also, if you wanted to, you know, you want your body to be able to adapt into the new kind of nutrients that you're going to be consuming, you know, and to the different food stuff, you know. Because if you're used to eating a lot of candies or whatever, you know, that can be quite hard for the body to just all of a sudden have all these kind of nutrient-rich foods, you know, available, and to sort of absorb the nutrients from that, you know. So take it step by step, you know. That's kind of a good option, you know. And be prepared, you know, if you have any kind of like social gatherings and stuff, and you know that there are going to be meat eaters there who might have some saying about you being vegan. I mean, bring forth those strong argument points, you know, to why you should be vegan, like why you have choose to be vegan. You do not have to convince everyone to sort of make that transit, because not everyone is ready for it, you know. They sort of have to, you know, evolve into that stage where they're going to be ready to go vegan themselves, you know, and that may never even going to happen, you know. even if they see that you are thriving and being super healthy, it's not sure that everyone is going to go vegan just because you have. But if you are considering it, then I would say like give it a try, and take like, if you are kind of a, you know, if you're a person who enjoys organization and stuff, like do some kind of 30 days of challenge kind of thing, you know, where you kind of set up a goal to, you know, include more and more vegan food and like meals into your, you know, diet, you know. So yeah, so this park where I am now, it's like the city park, you know, and it's Sunday today, so I mean there's a little bit more people who are out here and kind of enjoying it. So yeah, this is just in the city where I'm studying, and it's quite a lot of leaves as well here. So yeah, I hope you also try and you know, find some time to, you know, do workouts and stuff, because I mean also if you're kind of being physically active, that's also going to help you to sort of, you know, crave food, you know, and also to want to eat more healthy. So yeah, that's also a good tip, you know. And as you see, you know, as you go about and you see that you're sort of progressing and you sort of see results in your physical body and maybe in your mental clarity and just in these kind of things, that's also going to give you some motivation to continue being vegan, you know, and making this transition. So yeah, so there is still some roses over here that are kind of flowering. I'm going to try and see if I can walk up here, you know, because it is now November, almost December, and it's still like, you know, kind of roses that are still pink. So must be some kind of winter type of roses, you know. So yeah, okay, that's sort of you know, the basic kind of things about to think about if you're gonna go vegan. I mean, I have been vegan 5 years now almost, so I would totally recommend it, you know, for anyone who's having any thoughts about it, you know. At least to try it out and see how you're going to survive. Probably you will survive quite well and also get some other benefits from it. So, okay, bye bye.